There had been rumors about the running man for months, maybe even a few years, according to some folks. Dozens of people had claimed to have seen him, or at least they'd seen something. Something that looked like a dude running around the city at night, up on the rooftops, jumping all the way across streets and alleys, doing stuff normal people couldn't do. The cops, they were being cagey about it. There was some official message of like, we don't believe he exists, but he is wanted for questioning. Whatever that means. A lot of people thought it might be some sort of weirdo sports cult or a flash mob thing. Maybe it wasn't one person. Maybe it was a bunch of people pulling a prank. Maybe some sort of parkour marketing stunt to promote a movie or a TV show or a new type of sneaker. But then, just a few months ago, all that changed. It was down at Oppenheimer Park where all those homeless folks were living. The media was calling it an encampment, but you know how they are. Really, it was a bunch of people with nowhere else to go. So that day, it was a Thursday, just a little after midnight, when these two big SUVs pull up and 8 or 9 guys get out. These guys, they claimed to be part of some sort of neighborhood watch group, but they were basically just a coked up wannabe militia. I think most of them were from out in the suburbs. They were part of this gang called the Sons of the Night, Night with a K, and they claimed to be all about protecting people and helping the city, but they were really just a bunch of white power goons who liked stomping poor folk who weren't in a position to fight back. These guys, they're all big steroid gym freaks, big lumpy muscle dudes, and they're packing crowbars and baseball bats, and like I said, man, they're clearly high as fuck. Doing some blow or crank or whatever it is that gets their little dicks hard for busting heads. And I tell you something else. Parked, just like a block north of where we were, there was a squad car with a couple of cops in it. Just watching. I was at the park to see my buddy Josh. Josh had been having a hard time. That's why he was staying down there. He was trying to get clean, but it's hard, you know? So I was just there to like visit and give him some emotional support. And then these guys show up. They went straight into it. They charged in, started kicking stuff over, shoving people around. Keep in mind, there were all sorts of folks down there. Men and women, some kids, and lots of old folks. A lot of people who were sick or screwed up or had trouble looking after themselves. They didn't have anywhere else to be. It was clearly a bunch of fun for the goons, thumping folks who couldn't even defend themselves. These guys were treating it like it was a game, shouting out shit like 10 points when one of them knocked over the spot where some old lady had been sleeping. Now, if you ask me, I think the cops were in on it. Probably paid those dudes to come in and fuck up the poor people. They can't condone it, but they sure can sit back and let it happen. So the cops get a cleaner neighborhood and no blood on their hands or bad PR. And those thugs get a chance to hurt some innocent people with no repercussions. Then, one of them, he starts putting his bat to this young junkie who I swear wasn't doing anything. Kid was just sitting there. The other goons are watching and they start laughing, and this asshole just keeps going at the kid, clubbing him with the baseball bat. Not hard enough to kill him, but just hard enough to fuck him up. And all his buddies are making jokes about it, laughing. And then the runner was there. Dude just dropped down like from off a streetlight or something. He landed on the guy with the bat. He didn't hit him full on. I think that would have killed the guy. But he sends the dude sprawling across the ground and fucks up the guy's arm in the process. To us, he just looked like some normal dude. He was wearing like a dark gray tracksuit with black sneakers and those big goggles he's always got on. He didn't look like stronger or different from anybody else. A skinny white guy about 6 feet tall, maybe in his early 20s. He just looked like some dude. But when he moved, that's when you could tell. He was something else altogether. So he comes down on that first guy, takes him out of the fight. Then he goes up to one of the other assholes, this dude with a crowbar, and he takes the crowbar from the guy, and then with his bare hands, the runner, he twists the crowbar around the guy's neck. Not like tight, it's all loose. But just seeing that freaks everybody out. It's like a magic trick, but it's real. You could hear it when he bent the metal. It made this sound like an angry scream. Those cops I mentioned before, they're still there. They see what's going on, but they don't make a move. They just keep watching. So after a couple of seconds of being all freaked out, the Sons of the Night thugs all try to like soldier up. You can tell a couple of them are into it. Like now they got some real opposition to go up against. And they want it. They want to hurt somebody, and this dude just gave them an excuse. This pack of thugs, they surround the runner, and they move in on him. And he fucked them up pretty bad. There's a lot of people with a lot of opinions about that fight. But I was there, I saw it. The runner didn't kill anybody. He didn't even beat on them, like in an excessive way. No matter what those guys said later, he for sure sent a few of them to the hospital. I saw a couple of arms get broken. Another guy, the runner just kicked the dude's knee in, and the joint collapsed backwards. The guy screamed and hit the ground like a sack of wet shit. The thugs took off pretty quick after that. The ones who could still walk grabbed up their injured buddies and bundled back into their SUVs and got the hell out of there. It was messed up. Nobody likes seeing that kind of violence. It's scary as hell. Sure, the runner was standing up for folks, but seeing somebody capable of doing what he can do, it's not cool. It's terrifying. It hits you on like a primal level. It's wrong, you know? Seeing a person move like that. A bunch of folks were screaming, crying. The runner took off real quick after the goons were gone. Once the fight was over, there wasn't much he could do to help out around there, and I think everybody was real freaked out by what they'd seen. First, being attacked, and then being defended by some... I don't want to call him a masked stranger, because he's just wearing those big goggles, but still, it's weird. I'm glad he was there, and I'm glad he did what he did, but I hated seeing it. I still have nightmares about it. The free runner. I think he's probably an okay guy, but I don't know. Even just a little bit of regular violence, conflict, it can really mess with your head. Makes me wonder how he deals with it.